Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see, I've got the shelter up. Sorry I haven't talked to you much. I was a bit quiet on the way in because I just wanted to make sure I could get here and get camp set up quickly because it is starting to get darker a bit earlier. We have about, I'd say, an hour to an hour and a half left before the sun goes down, so I've got to collect some firewood still. I've actually got to build a tripod because we're going to be hanging a pot over the fire and probably cooking for a good 2 to 4 hours potentially, so I need to collect enough firewood for that, and I need 3 fairly decent straight pieces as well to actually build a tripod. So let's get started. So luckily I didn't have to go too far for the first piece, so we've got a pretty nice big piece of dead standing here, and looks like I've got some pretty nice straight lengths that I can use, at least 3, to make the tripod for cooking tonight. Alright, I've got 3 pieces of relatively straight wood. Now we just have to do a few wraps and fraps, and then we're done. When you're doing this, you just want to make sure they remain relatively flat, lined up straight, and you just want to use your finger to kind of keep the tension. I recommend doing at least 4 wraps if you're going to do this before you start doing the fraps. And I like to do at least 2 to 3 fraps as well. Alright. And so then you can actually use any extra paracord to actually hang the pot if you'd like, after putting a hitch of some kind. Alright, we're all done. Alright, can have the fire right here, and just enough space to, hang the pot. So I've already got a good start on some of the firewood. I am going to need quite a bit more than this though, so I'm going to save you the bore of me cutting a bunch more wood, but I'm going to go ahead, find some more pieces of wood, and then start cutting it up so we can get the fire started. So I'm using just a cheap steamer as kind of a fire bowl, and the reason I do this is just to, especially this time of year, the ground's extremely wet, and so this just kind of helps keep it off the ground a bit to not only protect the ground but also help aerate the fire a little bit more. Seems to be going now. Let's get cooking. Alright, so for dinner tonight, we're going to make beef stew over mashed potatoes. Figured it was a nice, appropriate autumn meal for these cooler nights now. So it shouldn't take too long to prepare. Then we got to get it in the pot, but then it's going to probably take at least 2 hours to cook. So we'll be hanging out for a little while. But it's only around 6:30, so yeah, eating around 8:30, 9 o'clock should be. So it's going to be a couple hours, so I'll probably just sit back, relax, have a beer. I do have potatoes, mashed potatoes I'm going to make to go with it, but those, I don't need to cook those probably for another hour or so. So all I got to do, just keep the fire going, relax, and hopefully in a couple hours we can eat some stew. Alright, have a nice beverage while we wait. Today's beer is a Northern Monk Rays of the Faith hazy pale ale. Cheers, guys. Finally realized why I don't actually come to this woodland anymore. I don't know if it picks up on camera, but I'm about 2 miles from the nearest road, and I can hear it clear as day, which is really kind of depressing when you want to come out here to just kind of escape all that. But it is a beautiful space. I'll make the best of it, but it just really stinks to hear a road. Oh well. It's getting harder and harder to escape these kinds of things. That's why I like going to the Lake District in Snowdonia so much. As the food's finishing cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and just get my sleep system out and ready. It's been about an hour, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out, and then in a little bit we'll go ahead and start making the mashed potatoes. This shelter, by the way, this is the oh gosh, what is it called? The OneTigris Backwoods Bungalow, I believe. Really cool shelter. As you can see, it's pretty big, and I love that this whole thing opens up, and it even gives you the awning, so if it's raining, you have some protection. You can, kind of still feel like you're out in the open like this. But yeah, it's quite nice. I need to use it more. Typically I just like using a tarp just because it's so much simpler and easy. But yeah, this is nice though, especially when it's still buggy, because there are quite a few. I've seen many spiders in this woodland, so it is going to be nice to kind of have the little extra bug protection, I guess, tonight, just to keep anything off me. But yeah. So the stew's starting to boil a little bit, which I don't want. I just want to kind of have it, if it does boil, just simmer. It's just a little too hot. So the way I did this is I just have it connected with the stick, and I have a little taut line hitch at the top, so I can just go ahead and adjust the height by pulling on the string, and that'll raise it or lower it as needed. It smells amazing. Hopefully it tastes good. Yeah. Continue waiting. All right, that's it. It took about, I'd say, 3 hours. So quite a long time, but let's see if it was worth it. Yeah, it's just, you could throw whatever you want in a pot. If you cook it for 3 hours, it's gonna taste good. Yeah, the meat's super tender. Carrots are super tender. Yeah, it's awesome. Alright, well, I've waited way too long for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and stoke up the fire and yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the meal. Alright guys, I hung out for about an hour after eating. Yeah, I'm just gonna lie here, watch the fire die out, and see you in the morning. Night. Good morning. Oh, it was a rough sleep last night. It was really, really cold. Um, I should have brought my winter bag. I don't know what I was thinking. The temperature wasn't supposed to get down that low, but I guess I didn't take into consideration that this is just a giant mesh door and I didn't close it down, so it got pretty chilly last night. So yeah, I just wanted to get up, make coffee, get something warm before saying good morning. Yeah, it's also much later than I usually get up. On my last camp, I believe I set my alarm for around, I want to say 5:30 or so, about a month ago. Yeah, sunrise is definitely pushed back, especially in this woodland. It was quite dark up until around 6:30 is when I got up. So, all right, I'm gonna finish this, enjoy the birds chirping. Yeah, and then we'll start packing up.
I really
like this fire bowl because it keeps the hot part of the fire off the ground, which is good, but also the majority of the ash you can dispose of safely in a hole. Yeah, so even if you are going to have an open fire, I definitely recommend one of these. This is super cheap. I think it was like, I don't know, 8 quid on Amazon, and it has little feet that holds it up off the ground, and it's held up well, no rust or anything. So yeah, super useful. What's great about something like this, and just bushcraft in general, is you don't have to buy fancy equipment to have the same experience. In some ways this is almost a nicer way to cook, especially if you're out here doing this kind of camp. I don't really consider myself a hardcore bushcrafter or anything like that. I'm just a camper and I like to do all kinds of different camps, but all you need is a little paracord and 3 sticks. Leave no trace as always. Alright guys, so I think that's going to do it for this one. I have about a half mile or so to make it back to the trail, so I can get back to the car. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. For those of you that like these kind of woodland camps with a little bit of bushcraft, I am probably going to head back into the mountains again, probably the Lake District coming up soon, for either a summit camp or a canoe camp potentially. So yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them just down below, or if you just want to say hi. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. Please like, share, and get outside. Catch you on the next one.